And welcome. Today's project is going to be a quick release buckle collar. I am using a plastic 1-inch quick release buckle in the color orange, and I also have a 1-inch O-ring. So this is a spring themed collar with the colors. The colors that we will be using today are, I have my double cow's hitch hooked up to orange. If you are not familiar with how to hook up your double cow's hitch, I will leave a link below for you guys to follow along with. I show you how to hook it up to a quick release buckle as well as other things, and I do show you how to put the O-ring on, which is very important that you do that when you put on your double cow's hitch. I also will show you how to hook it up to your jig if you're not familiar with that. So if you need that information, I will leave that link below for you guys. The colors that I'm going to be using today are, so again, I'm using orange with the double cow's hitch. I am also using Mindbender, Banana, and Pink, Turquoise, and Baby Blue. The first color that I'm going to be adding is the Mindbender in the Banana Pink, and what you're going to want to do is, you got these two cow's hitches at the top of your work. You can loosen them up a little bit. You want to go right through those two double cow's hitches, just like that. I am using a paracord needle. You don't have to. If you don't have one, that's quite alright. You can still push your end through. You're just going to want to melt that end just a little bit to get it through. So you're going to just go through to the other side and pull it to the middle. The next cord that I'm going to be adding is the turquoise. And you want to do the exact same thing that you did with the Mindbender. You're just going to go right through these two cow's hitches and bring it to the other side and to the middle of your work. The last cord that I'm going to be adding is the Baby Blue. What you want to do with this cord is you're going to go in between this first cow's hitch. You're going to go right in the middle of it. You're going to go underneath these two stitches that are going towards the left. You're going to come back up the second cow's hitch. So you're going to go in between the first one on the right, go underneath those two stitches, and then come back up the middle of the second cow's hitch. Pull that to the other side and also to the middle. Okay guys, once you have your work to the middle at the top of your collar, you can roll up some of your ends. You can roll up your orange, and you can roll up the banana pink. Leave the other two, the baby blue and the turquoise, unrolled because we're going to be feeding them through the O-ring to secure the O-ring on. The next thing you want to do is make sure that your O-ring is at the top of your work. I have a clothespin that I use to hold mine up at the top. I work on an inclining desk, so if I don't do that, it tends to fall on me, so this just keeps it, you know, put for the time being. And we can really just get started. So you're going to want to start off on your right side with the orange, and you're going to go underneath the first cord. That's this cord right here on your right. Go right up the middle and then over that cord on the left. So you're basically going right up the middle and then over. Take your orange on the left side now, go underneath the cord that you just worked. So you're going to go underneath that cord. You're going to go, and you're doing the same thing, just a mirror image, so you're just going to go underneath the first cord, which is now on your left. right up the middle, and then over. Next, you're going to pick up your banana pink on the right side. You're going to go underneath all of your work, and then right up the middle. And then you have this loop that you just made on your right side with the orange. You're going to go down that loop. Take the one on the left, go underneath, right up the middle, and then you have the loop with the orange that you just made on the left side. You're going to go down that loop. Now if you were holding your ring up with something, you can take it off now. Next, I'm going to take the turquoise and I want to feed it through the O-ring. So I'm just going to feed this through the O-ring. So once you have it through the O-ring, you're going to find those two horizontal orange pieces right directly in the middle of your work. You can pick up on those two pieces. What you're going to be doing with the turquoise now is you're going to go over and around those two horizontal pieces underneath the O-ring, and you're going to come up right up the middle. But you see how you have your turquoise over here? This is your working cord. You want to be on the right side of that cord. So take your turquoise now, go over the two horizontal cords and around them, go underneath the O-ring, come up through the middle, so you're coming up through the middle, but you want to be on this right side of your working cord, so just pull it through to the right and then pull it through. You're going to take your turquoise on the left side now and you're going to feed it through the O-ring. Once you have it through the O-ring, you're going to find those two horizontal orange pieces. You can pick up on them a little bit to just help guide you. You're going to go over those two horizontal pieces underneath the O-ring. You're going to come right up the middle, but you want to be on the left side of your working cord. So go over those two horizontal pieces underneath the O-ring, come up through the middle, but then put it on the left side of your working cord and pull that through. Now you're going to take your baby blue that is on your right side and you're going to put it through the O-ring. Once you have it through your O-ring, you're going to do the same thing that you just did on the right with the turquoise. So it gets a little jumbled up here because of the O-ring. Once we're done with fastening the O-ring on, it gets a lot easier to see what you're doing. So you're going to take your O-ring and, you're going to take your baby blue now. You're going to go around those two horizontal pieces and you're also going to go around the bottom part of the O-ring. So you're going to go around those two horizontal pieces. You're going to go around the bottom part of the O-ring. You're going to come up through the middle, but again, you want to be on the right side of your working cord. Now you're going to take your baby blue that is on your left side and you're going to put it again through the O-ring. And now you want to find those two horizontal pieces that are in the middle. You're going to go around those two horizontal pieces and around the bottom part of the O-ring. And you want to come up through the middle. But you want to be on the left side of your baby blue that you're working with. So you want to be on the left side of that working cord and pull that up and through. And once you have that done, you can tighten it up. Once you have it tightened up, you can feed your blue and your turquoise through the O-ring, and you can also roll those cords up as well. So once you have all that taken care of and everything is nice and tight, we can get started on the second weave. So I'm going to be starting again on my right with the orange cord. And I'm going to go underneath the first cord, right up that middle again, and then over. Take the orange on your left now and go underneath the cord that you just worked. Go right up the middle again with that cord and over that second cord that's now on your right. Next I'm going to grab the banana orange that is on my right side, and I'm going to go underneath my work, right up the middle, and then down that loop. Grab the banana on the left side now and do the same. Go underneath your work, but go down that loop that is on your left side that you made with the orange. Now you can find those two horizontal orange pieces again and pull them up. Take your turquoise now that is on your right side. You're going to go over these two horizontal orange pieces and come out the right. So you're going to go over and around and come out the right. Take the one on the left now. You're going to go over and around but out the left. So go over and around and out the left. Take your baby blue on your right side. Again, go over those two horizontal pieces and out the right. So you're on the right side of your working cord. Take the one on the left. Go over and around and out the left. So you're on the left side of your working cord and tighten it up. Once you have it tightened up, start that weave all over again. So you're going to start on your right side, take your orange, go right up the middle and over. Take the orange on the left, go underneath the cord that you just worked, right up the middle again and over. Take your banana pink now, go underneath your work and right up the middle and then down that loop on your right. Take the one on the left, go underneath your work, right up the middle, down that loop that you made with the orange on the left. Next, find those two horizontal pieces of orange. Take your turquoise on your right side, go over and around and out the right. Take the one on the left, go over and around and out the left. Next, take your baby blue that is on your right side. You're going to go over those two horizontal pieces and out the right. This will be on the right side of your working cord. Take the one on the left, go over and around, out the left, and you'll be on the left side of your working cord and tighten it up. Okay, so I went a few more weaves down so I can show you a bigger picture of the pattern, and I am going to continue the same wave all the way down the collar, and once I get there I'll show you guys how to do your tie off and what it looks like when it's finished. Alright guys, I'm at the end of the collar now. I took it off the jig and I am going to sew in or weave in the top cords, which are the turquoise and the baby blue. I'm going to start off with the turquoise on my right side, and you have a gap between your work and these two cow's hitches. It's a pretty thin gap, and you're going to go in that gap with both turquoise. Next, you're going to take your baby blue on your right side. You have a hole between your two cow's hitches. You can widen that hole if you want. You're going to take both your baby blue cords and go from front to back into that hole. Once you got that done, we can cut and burn the cords. So I'm going to be starting off on my side. Make sure you pull everything nice and tight. I'm going to start off on my side And I'm going to go about 1/4 of an inch up. I'm going to fray them out. I'm going to burn one at a time, and they'll melt, and I'll squish them down with my butter knife. Try not to let it catch on fire, but it does happen. But you shouldn't let it do that. I'm going to burn the second one. My goodness. I'm going to squish that one down as well. Once I have these two done on this side, I'm going to flip it over and do the other side the same way. So after you've gotten the two sides done, we can do the middle part. So what I'm going to be doing is doing the turquoise first, and I'm going to do that also one at a time. So I'll cut one. My scissors are terrible. Kind of frayed it out for me. Fray it out a little bit. You can hold these out of the way. Yeah. And I'm going to melt the top of this one as well. And squish it down. So I did this one and I was completely out of frame, and I do apologize for that. So I'm going to show you guys how I do the second one. You're going to do all of these the same way. So you're going to just cut it. You can fray it out. You want to do one at a time, and you can hold the other cords out of the way. You're going to melt that top. And then take your butter knife or whatever you are using that's metal and squish it down. And you're going to do the blue ones the same way. Alright, so once you're done with that, you can use the collar as is, but I like to put a little bit of Gorilla Glue on my ends to secure them a little bit better. So I was asked recently why I don't weave in those strands that I put through and that I melted, why I don't try to weave them into the back of the collar to make it a little bit stronger. I don't like that bulkiness of it. It's just something that I prefer not to have on my collars. There's nothing wrong with it. I know a lot of people do it, and I do also know that a lot of people don't do it. I use the Gorilla Glue as a secondary kind of security for it to stay together. So I use clear non-foaming Gorilla Glue. You don't need a lot. You can just put it on the ends where you melted. One of the things that it does do, it does make it a little bit, it makes it stiffer in this particular area that you're putting it on. But I've never had anybody tell me that anything fell apart on them or anything like that. At least nobody's told me. So I just do it on the ends that I melted. And I will let that dry. Now I've been doing this, I guess, method since I started. Because like I said, I really didn't like the bulkiness of weaving it through. And you know, that might have to do with me not being able to do a good job with that. Maybe there's other people that can weave it through without creating that bulkiness. I had a problem with it, so I came up with a different solution. And like I said, I've been doing this since the very beginning. I've been putting on the Gorilla Glue. It is waterproof, and if you do use Gorilla Glue, please make sure that you get the clear, non-foaming glue. I made the mistake one time of getting foaming glue, and it made a complete mess out of everything, and it was definitely a bummer. I'm gonna let this dry, and then when it's completely dry, I will show you guys what the finished result looks like.